On March 15, 1972, 6 quarry workers clock in for what they believe will be a routine day at the Clearwater Limestone Quarry in southeastern Idaho. By 2:47 that afternoon, all 6 men lie dead, victims of an uncontrolled blast that tears through the quarry face with devastating force. The explosion claims the lives of experienced miners who trusted their safety protocols and equipment, leaving behind 6 families shattered by a preventable tragedy. A miscommunication about blast timing, combined with faulty warning systems and inadequate safety procedures, transforms a standard blasting operation into a mass casualty event that will forever change quarry safety regulations across the nation. If you want to understand how this tragedy claimed so many lives, subscribe to this channel. This episode is a fictionalized reconstruction inspired by real mining accidents and safety investigations from the period. Names, locations, and specific events have been created for storytelling purposes. The Clearwater Limestone Quarry sprawls across 400 acres of high desert terrain in Cassia County, Idaho, where the Snake River Plain meets the foothills of the Albion Mountains. March temperatures hover near freezing in the pre-dawn hours, with patches of snow still clinging to the shadowed north faces of the quarry walls. The air carries the sharp scent of diesel exhaust from heavy machinery and the alkaline dust that coats everything in a fine white powder. This is limestone country, where geological forces millions of years ago compressed ancient sea floors into the high-quality stone that feeds cement plants across the Mountain West. The quarry operates as a massive terraced amphitheater, carved in precise benches that step down nearly 200 feet to the working floor. Each bench stands 30 feet high, connected by haul roads wide enough for the largest mining trucks to navigate safely. The limestone here contains over 95% calcium carbonate, making it exceptionally valuable for Portland cement production. On this particular morning, the sound of diesel engines warming up echoes off the quarry walls as the day shift prepares for another round of production blasting. Clearwater Limestone has operated continuously since 1954, when post-war construction demand drove the need for new quarrying operations in the region. The facility employs 43 workers during peak season, from heavy equipment operators to blasting specialists, all coordinated from a modest office complex perched on the quarry's eastern rim. From this vantage point, supervisors can observe the entire operation spread below them, watching as massive haul trucks navigate the switchbacking roads that connect each working level. The company maintains an enviable safety record through the 1960s, with only minor injuries reported to state mining authorities. Regular safety meetings emphasize the constant dangers of working around explosives and heavy machinery in an environment where a single mistake can prove fatal. Workers understand that quarry operations involve calculated risks, from the massive trucks that can crush a man without the operator even noticing, to the controlled explosions that can bring down thousands of tons of rock in seconds. Idaho's mining regulations in 1972 require specific procedures for blasting operations, including mandatory evacuation protocols and communication systems designed to ensure all personnel remain clear of blast zones. The state mining inspector conducts quarterly reviews of safety procedures, examining everything from explosive storage to evacuation routes. Clearwater's management takes pride in exceeding these minimum requirements, implementing additional safety measures that reflect their commitment to protecting workers. The quarry's blasting operations follow a precise schedule designed around production demands and safety considerations. Explosives arrive from the manufacturer in carefully controlled quantities, stored in a reinforced concrete magazine located half a mile from active work areas. Only certified blasters handle the materials, following strict protocols for transportation, placement, and detonation. Each blast requires detailed planning, with engineers calculating exact charge placements to achieve optimal rock fragmentation while maintaining safety margins. Weather conditions play a crucial role in quarry operations, particularly during Idaho's harsh winters when freezing temperatures affect both equipment performance and worker safety. March represents a transitional period when operators must remain vigilant for sudden weather changes that can impact visibility or create hazardous working conditions. The quarry's morning briefings always include weather updates and any necessary adjustments to planned operations. The facility's communication system relies on a combination of radio networks and visual signals to coordinate activities across the sprawling site. A central dispatcher maintains contact with all mobile equipment and work crews, ensuring that everyone receives critical safety information in real time. The system includes backup procedures for emergency situations, with designated rally points where workers can gather if evacuation becomes necessary. Clearwater's workforce represents a mix of experienced miners and newer employees learning the trade under careful supervision. The company's training program requires extensive safety education before workers can operate independently, with ongoing refresher courses that reinforce proper procedures. Veterans like Shift Supervisor Robert Chen bring 15 years of quarrying experience to their roles, serving as mentors for younger workers while maintaining the vigilance that keeps everyone safe. The limestone extraction process begins with careful geological surveys that identify optimal blast patterns for maximum efficiency. Engineers drill precise holes in predetermined patterns, calculating the exact amount of explosive needed to fracture the rock without creating dangerous overbreak or fly rock conditions. Each blast represents months of planning and preparation, designed to remove specific quantities of material while maintaining the structural integrity of surrounding benches. Quality control measures ensure that extracted limestone meets stringent specifications for cement production. Regular sampling and testing verify chemical composition and physical properties, with any substandard material segregated for alternative uses. The quarry's reputation depends on consistently delivering high-grade limestone that meets customer requirements, making quality assurance an integral part of daily operations. Environmental considerations influence every aspect of quarry operations, from dust control measures to noise mitigation strategies that minimize impact on surrounding communities. Water trucks spray active haul roads to reduce dust emissions, while berms and vegetation screens help contain noise within acceptable limits. The company maintains positive relationships with local residents by demonstrating responsible mining practices that balance production needs with environmental stewardship. The men who lose their lives on March 15th represent the heart of Clearwater's workforce, experienced professionals who understand both the rewards and risks of quarry work. Shift Supervisor Robert Chun, 42, brings 15 years of mining experience to his role, having worked his way up from equipment operator to management. His knowledge of quarry operations and commitment to safety make him a respected leader among the crew. Chen lives in nearby Burley with his wife and 2 teenage daughters, coaching youth baseball in his spare time and serving as a volunteer firefighter. Heavy equipment operator James Mitchell, 38, operates the massive haul trucks that transport limestone from the quarry floor to processing areas. His skill with the 100-ton vehicles makes him one of the most valued operators on the crew, capable of navigating the narrow haul roads with precision and efficiency. Mitchell's 12 years at Clearwater have earned him a reputation for reliability and safety consciousness. He and his wife recently purchased a small ranch outside Albion, where they raise cattle and horses on weekends. Blasting specialist David Rodriguez, 34, holds state certification for handling explosives and oversees all controlled detonations at the quarry. His expertise ensures that each blast achieves optimal fragmentation while maintaining strict safety protocols. Rodriguez learned his trade in the military before transitioning to civilian mining operations, bringing military discipline to his approach to explosive handling. He lives in Oakley with his wife and 3 young children, actively involved in his church and local school board. Maintenance Supervisor Frank Thompson, 45, keeps the quarry's extensive fleet of equipment operating at peak efficiency. His mechanical expertise and attention to detail prevent the equipment failures that could endanger workers or halt production. Thompson's 20-year career in heavy equipment maintenance began in the logging industry before he transitioned to mining operations. He takes pride in training younger mechanics and maintaining the high standards that keep Clearwater's safety record intact. Equipment operator Michael Santos, 29, recently earned promotion to operate the quarry's primary drilling rig, responsible for creating the precise blast holes that enable efficient limestone extraction. His careful attention to drilling patterns and depth requirements contributes directly to successful blasting operations. Santos moved to Idaho from California 2 years ago, drawn by the stability of mining employment and the opportunity to raise his family in a small community environment. Loader operator William Brooks, 26, operates the massive front-end loaders that move blasted limestone from the quarry floor to waiting haul trucks. His skill with the heavy machinery and understanding of material handling procedures make him an essential part of the production team. Brooks represents the newest generation of quarry workers, combining traditional mining knowledge with modern equipment operation techniques. He recently married his high school sweetheart and purchased their first home in Albion. The morning of March 15th begins with typical pre-shift activities as workers arrive at the quarry office for their daily safety briefing. Outside temperatures register 28 degrees Fahrenheit, with clear skies promising a warming trend as the day progresses. A light breeze carries the familiar scent of limestone dust mixed with diesel exhaust from equipment warming up in the maintenance yard. The quarry's morning routine follows established patterns designed to ensure safe and efficient operations throughout the day. Chin reviews the day's production schedule with his crew, noting that Bench 7 requires a controlled blast to expose fresh limestone for extraction. The blast has been planned for weeks, with all necessary permits secured and explosive materials prepared according to strict protocols. Weather conditions appear favorable for the operation, with minimal wind that could affect debris patterns and clear visibility that enables proper safety monitoring. The crew discusses equipment assignments and work priorities during the morning briefing, with each operator receiving specific instructions for their role in the day's activities. Mitchell will position his haul truck at the designated loading area once the blast clears, while Santos prepares drilling equipment for post-blast hole preparation. Brooks ensures his loader is properly maintained and positioned for efficient material handling once production resumes. Rodriguez conducts his pre-blast inspection of Bench 7, verifying that all drill holes are properly prepared and that no equipment or personnel remain in the designated blast zone. His checklist includes verification of explosive placement, detonation timing sequences, and communication protocols that will ensure coordinated evacuation before the blast. The inspection reveals no anomalies that would require postponing the operation. Thompson completes routine maintenance on critical equipment, paying particular attention to the communication systems that coordinate blast operations. Radio checks confirm that all mobile units maintain clear contact with the central dispatcher, while backup communication procedures receive verification testing. The maintenance supervisor takes special care with the warning systems that alert personnel to evacuation requirements. Morning operations proceed smoothly as equipment operators complete their assigned tasks in preparation for the scheduled blast. Haul trucks transport previously blasted material to processing areas, while drilling equipment prepares additional holes for future operations. The coordinated activity reflects the careful planning and experienced workforce that have made Clearwater a model of efficient quarry operations. The quarry's central dispatcher maintains constant communication with all work crews, providing updates on blast timing and ensuring that everyone understands evacuation procedures. Radio traffic follows established protocols designed to prevent miscommunication during critical safety operations. Each operator acknowledges receipt of instructions and confirms their understanding of safety requirements. Weather monitoring indicates stable conditions throughout the morning, with temperatures rising steadily toward the forecasted high of 45 degrees. Wind speeds remain minimal, creating ideal conditions for controlled blasting operations. The quarry's meteorological equipment provides real-time updates that help supervisors make informed decisions about safety procedures. Equipment inspections reveal no mechanical issues that could compromise safety or production efficiency. Hydraulic systems operate within normal parameters while engine temperatures and fluid levels meet manufacturer specifications. The thorough maintenance program ensures that equipment failures do not create unexpected hazards during critical operations. By late morning, all preliminary work is completed and the crew prepares for the final safety checks before blast initiation. Rodriguez reviews detonation procedures one final time, confirming that all explosive charges are properly connected and that timing sequences will produce the desired fragmentation pattern. The blast specialist's methodical approach reflects his understanding that any error in explosive handling could prove fatal. The blast warning system activates at 2:15 p.m., signaling the beginning of mandatory evacuation procedures for Bench 7 and surrounding areas. All personnel receive clear instructions to move to designated safe zones located well beyond the calculated danger radius. The warning system includes both audible alarms and radio communications to ensure that every worker receives timely notification of the impending detonation. Chun coordinates the evacuation from his position near the quarry office, maintaining radio contact with all crew members as they move to safety positions. His experience with blast operations enables him to monitor the process efficiently while ensuring that no one remains in potentially dangerous areas. The supervisor's calm professionalism helps maintain order during the critical pre-blast period. Mitchell positions his haul truck at the designated safe zone, following established procedures that account for potential fly rock and ground vibration effects. His understanding of blast dynamics, gained through years of quarry experience, guides his selection of an optimal waiting position that balances safety requirements with operational efficiency. The operator maintains radio contact with dispatch throughout the positioning process. Rodriguez completes his final inspection of the blast area, conducting a systematic sweep to verify that no personnel or equipment remain within the danger zone. His thorough approach includes checking all potential hiding spots where workers might inadvertently remain, from equipment cabs to storage areas that could provide false security. The blast specialist's methodical inspection reflects his understanding that overlooking even a single person could result in fatality. Santos moves his drilling rig to the predetermined safe position, following the same evacuation routes used in previous blast operations. His familiarity with the quarry layout enables efficient movement while maintaining awareness of other equipment that might create traffic congestion during evacuation. The operator's disciplined approach to safety procedures demonstrates the training and experience that typically prevent accidents. Thompson ensures that all maintenance equipment is properly secured and positioned outside the blast danger zone. His responsibilities include verifying that fuel trucks, welding equipment, and other potentially hazardous materials are located at safe distances from the detonation area. The maintenance supervisor's attention to these details reflects his understanding that secondary explosions or fires could compound the effects of the primary blast. Brooks coordinates with other equipment operators to ensure efficient movement during evacuation procedures. His loader joins the convoy of vehicles moving to safe positions, following established traffic patterns designed to prevent congestion or accidents during the critical pre-blast period. The operator's cooperation demonstrates the teamwork that normally ensures smooth execution of safety procedures. At 2:35 p.m., Rodriguez begins the final countdown sequence for blast initiation, following protocols that require multiple confirmations of area clearance before explosive detonation. His radio communications with the central dispatcher verify that all personnel are accounted for and positioned at safe distances from the blast zone. The blast specialist's systematic approach to these final checks represents the last line of defense against tragic accidents. The quarry's communication system experiences an intermittent failure at 2:40 p.m., creating brief periods of static that interfere with radio transmissions between the blast specialist and central dispatch. While backup communication procedures exist, the timing of the failure occurs during the critical final minutes before scheduled detonation. Rodriguez attempts to re-establish clear communication while maintaining his position at the blast initiation point. Chen notices the communication difficulties from his position at the quarry office and immediately attempts to contact Rodriguez through alternative radio channels. The supervisor's experience with communication equipment enables him to diagnose the problem as likely interference from atmospheric conditions affecting radio wave propagation. However, his efforts to establish reliable contact prove unsuccessful as the interference persists. Unknown to the evacuation teams, a shift change occurring at a nearby cement plant has resulted in earlier than expected arrival of a delivery truck at Clearwater's main gate. The truck driver, unfamiliar with quarry operations and blast procedures, proceeds directly toward the active work area, following outdated directions that do not account for current safety zones. His presence in the quarry creates an unrecognized hazard that will prove fatal. The communication system failure prevents Rodriguez from receiving updated information about the truck's arrival and the potential presence of additional personnel in areas that should be clear of all activity. Standard protocols require positive confirmation of area clearance before blast initiation, but the intermittent radio contact makes such confirmation impossible. The blast specialist faces a critical decision about whether to proceed with detonation or abort the operation. At 2:43 p.m., Rodriguez makes the fateful decision to proceed with the blast sequence, believing that all evacuation procedures have been completed successfully and that the communication difficulties represent only technical problems rather than safety concerns. His decision reflects standard operating procedures that emphasize maintaining production schedules when safety requirements appear to be satisfied. The blast specialist initiates the final countdown sequence that will trigger the explosive charges. The delivery truck driver, still unaware of the imminent blast, continues toward the quarry floor following signs that direct him to the limestone loading area. His unfamiliarity with quarry operations prevents him from recognizing the significance of the evacuation activities occurring around him. The driver assumes that the movement of equipment and personnel represents normal operational procedures rather than safety-related evacuation. Chun realizes that communication with Rodriguez has been completely lost and immediately dispatches Thompson to physically contact the blast specialist and verify that all safety requirements have been met. The supervisor's decision demonstrates his commitment to safety procedures, but the timing proves insufficient to prevent the tragic sequence of events already in motion. Thompson begins moving toward Rodriguez's position but cannot cover the distance before blast initiation occurs. Mitchell, positioned in his haul truck at what he believes to be a safe distance, notices the delivery truck approaching the quarry floor but cannot establish radio contact to warn either the driver or the blast specialist about the developing danger. His attempts to signal the truck driver through horn blasts and light signals prove ineffective due to distance and the noise of diesel engines operating throughout the quarry. Santos observes the same dangerous situation developing, but faces identical communication difficulties that prevent him from alerting other personnel to the presence of the delivery truck in the blast zone. His position near the drilling equipment provides a clear view of the developing tragedy, but offers no means of preventing the catastrophic sequence of events about to unfold. Brooks attempts to use his loader's mobility to intercept the delivery truck and warn the driver about the imminent blast, but the distance involved and the terrain conditions make such intervention impossible within the remaining time frame. His efforts to attract attention through equipment movement and signaling prove insufficient to communicate the urgent danger to the unknowing truck driver. At 2:47 p.m., the explosive charges detonate with devastating force, sending thousands of tons of limestone flying through the air in a deadly barrage of rock fragments that extends far beyond the calculated safety zone. The blast, designed to fragment rock efficiently for processing, creates a lethal environment where survival becomes impossible for anyone caught within the expanded danger area. The explosion's sound reverberates across the quarry like thunder, followed by the ominous rumble of falling stone. The delivery truck and its driver are caught directly in the path of the largest rock fragments, which strike with the force of artillery shells traveling at hundreds of feet per second. The vehicle provides no protection against limestone blocks weighing several tons each, and the driver perishes instantly upon impact. The truck itself disappears beneath an avalanche of blasted stone that buries both vehicle and occupant completely. Rodriguez, positioned at the blast initiation point according to standard procedures, finds himself closer to the detonation than anticipated due to miscalculations in the explosive placement that create unexpected fragmentation patterns. The blast specialist becomes trapped when flying rock blocks his escape route, and he succumbs to the impact of stone fragments that prove impossible to avoid. His position, normally considered safe for blast operations, becomes a death trap when the explosion exceeds predicted parameters. Chun, Thompson, Santos, Mitchell, and Brooks, despite their positions in designated safe zones, are caught in the unexpected expansion of the blast effect that sends deadly projectiles far beyond calculated danger boundaries. The explosion's force, amplified by geological conditions not accounted for in blast planning, creates a killing field that extends into areas previously considered completely safe. All 5 men are overcome by the stone barrage and lose their lives within moments of the detonation. The limestone fragments, some weighing several hundred pounds, travel with ballistic force that makes evasion impossible even for experienced quarry workers who understand blast dynamics. The rock projectiles strike equipment, buildings, and personnel with devastating effect, creating a scene of destruction that exceeds anything in Clearwater's operational history. The sound of impacts continues for nearly a minute as the last fragments fall to earth. Emergency response begins immediately as surviving personnel realize the scope of the tragedy that has occurred. The quarry's emergency coordinator activates disaster protocols that summon ambulances, fire departments, and rescue teams from throughout the region. However, the scale of destruction and the nature of the injuries make rescue efforts largely a matter of body recovery rather than life-saving intervention. First responders arrive to find a quarry floor littered with limestone blocks and debris that make immediate access to victims impossible. Heavy equipment must be brought in to move the largest rock fragments before rescue teams can reach the areas where personnel are trapped. The recovery operation requires extreme caution to prevent additional injuries from unstable rock formations created by the blast. The delivery truck remains completely buried beneath tons of limestone, requiring hours of careful excavation before recovery teams can reach the driver's body. The vehicle's destruction provides stark evidence of the tremendous forces involved in the explosion and the impossibility of survival for anyone caught in the direct blast zone. Recovery efforts proceed methodically to ensure that no additional personnel are endangered during the process. Rodriguez's body is located near the blast initiation point, where evidence suggests he attempted to reach safety, but was overcome by the unexpectedly powerful explosion. The blast specialist's position and the condition of his equipment provide investigators with crucial information about the sequence of events that led to the tragedy. His death represents the loss of irreplaceable expertise in quarry operations. The bodies of Chun, Thompson, Santos, Mitchell, and Brooks are found in their respective work areas, where each man was engaged in normal quarry operations when the blast exceeded its predicted boundaries. The location and condition of each victim provide investigators with important evidence about blast effects and the failure of safety calculations to account for actual explosion parameters. Their deaths demonstrate how quickly routine operations can become fatal when safety systems fail. Medical examiner reports confirm that all 6 men died from trauma caused by impact with limestone fragments traveling at high velocity. The technical cause of death, blunt force trauma resulting from rock projectiles, reflects the tremendous kinetic energy released during the explosion. None of the victims survived long enough to receive medical treatment, with death occurring within moments of impact in each case. The immediate aftermath of the explosion reveals extensive damage to quarry equipment and infrastructure, with several buildings suffering structural damage from flying rock and ground vibration. Haul trucks positioned near the blast zone sustained significant damage from limestone impacts, while communication equipment is destroyed or disabled by the explosion's effects. The scope of destruction exceeds anything previously experienced in Idaho quarry operations. Environmental impact from the blast includes limestone dust clouds that reduce visibility across the entire quarry site and affect air quality in surrounding communities. Ground vibration from the explosion registers on seismic monitoring equipment located miles away, providing scientific data about the blast's unprecedented magnitude. Water wells in the area require testing for possible contamination from disturbed geological formations. The Cassia County Sheriff's Department immediately cordons off the quarry site as a crime scene, pending investigation into the cause of the multiple fatalities. State mining inspectors arrive within hours to begin their examination of safety procedures, equipment, and explosive handling practices that may have contributed to the tragedy. Federal investigators from the Mine Safety and Health Administration join the investigation due to the severity of the incident. Local hospitals activate mass casualty protocols despite the fact that no survivors require treatment, preparing for potential injuries among rescue workers and first responders. The emotional impact on the small community becomes apparent as news of the 6 deaths spreads through Burley, Oakley, and surrounding areas where the victims lived and worked. Community leaders organize support services for the families affected by the tragedy. The investigation into the 6 fatalities begins with a comprehensive examination of blast planning procedures, explosive placement calculations, and safety protocols that failed to prevent the deaths. State mining engineers conduct detailed analysis of the blast site, measuring crater dimensions and debris patterns to understand why the explosion exceeded predicted parameters. Their findings will determine whether criminal negligence charges are warranted. Explosive residue analysis reveals that the charges detonated as intended, but geological conditions in Bench 7 created unexpected fracture patterns that directed blast energy in uncontrolled directions. The limestone formation contained previously undetected geological structures that acted as energy directors, focusing explosive force toward areas that should have remained safe. This discovery explains why standard safety calculations proved inadequate. Communication system examination reveals that radio equipment failures occurred at the critical moment when final safety confirmations were required before blast initiation. Investigators determined that atmospheric interference, combined with equipment maintenance issues, created the communication breakdown that prevented proper coordination of safety procedures. The failure represents a cascading series of problems rather than a single point of failure. Testimony from surviving personnel provides investigators with detailed accounts of the events leading to the tragedy, including observations about the delivery truck's unexpected presence and the communication difficulties that prevented warning the driver. Witness statements help reconstruct the timeline of events and identify the multiple factors that contributed to the fatal outcome. Their accounts reveal how quickly normal operations deteriorated into tragedy. Expert analysis of blast design procedures reveals that industry-standard safety calculations failed to account for the specific geological conditions present in Bench 7. The limestone formation's internal structure, including previously unknown fault systems and varying rock density, created unpredictable blast effects that exceeded all safety margins. Engineering consultants conclude that current industry practices are inadequate for such complex geological conditions. Examination of quarry safety procedures reveals that while Clearwater met or exceeded all regulatory requirements, the standards themselves proved insufficient to prevent fatalities when multiple system failures occurred simultaneously. The investigation identifies gaps in communication protocols, geological assessment procedures, and blast zone calculations that contributed to the tragic outcome. These findings lead to comprehensive reviews of industry safety standards. The investigation determines that the delivery truck driver's presence in the blast zone resulted from inadequate coordination between quarry management and outside contractors. Standard procedures for controlling access during blast operations failed to account for unscheduled arrivals and the potential for personnel to enter dangerous areas without proper authorization. This systemic failure contributed directly to one of the fatalities. Autopsy results confirm that all 6 victims died from massive trauma caused by impact with limestone fragments, with death occurring essentially instantaneously in each case. The medical examiner's findings provide technical documentation of the cause of death, while confirming that the men did not suffer prolonged pain before succumbing to their injuries. These results support the conclusion that the blast's effects were immediately fatal. Federal investigators conclude that the tragedy resulted from a combination of geological factors, communication system failures, and inadequate safety protocols rather than willful negligence by quarry management. However, their report identifies numerous areas where improved procedures could have prevented the deaths, leading to comprehensive recommendations for industry reform. The investigation's findings become the basis for significant changes in quarry safety regulations. The wrongful death lawsuits filed by victims' families result in substantial settlements that acknowledge the quarry company's responsibility for maintaining adequate safety procedures. Legal proceedings focus on the failure to implement communication backup systems and the inadequate geological assessment that led to miscalculation of blast effects. The settlements provide financial support for families while establishing legal precedents for quarry safety responsibility. Criminal negligence charges against quarry management are ultimately dismissed after prosecutors determine that the company's safety procedures met existing regulatory standards, despite their inadequacy in preventing the tragedy. However, the legal proceedings result in plea agreements that require extensive safety improvements and ongoing monitoring of quarry operations. The legal outcomes emphasize civil rather than criminal responsibility for the deaths. State mining regulators implement comprehensive new safety requirements for quarry blasting operations, including mandatory backup communication systems, enhanced geological surveys, and expanded safety zones based on worst-case blast scenarios. These regulations, directly prompted by the 6 deaths at Clearwater, become the model for quarry safety standards nationwide. The new requirements are specifically designed to prevent similar tragedies. The Idaho legislature passes comprehensive mine safety legislation that strengthens regulatory oversight and increases penalties for safety violations that result in worker deaths. The new laws require more frequent inspections, enhanced training requirements, and mandatory safety equipment upgrades for all mining operations in the state. This legislative response demonstrates how the 6 deaths catalyzed broader reforms in mining safety. Federal mine safety agencies use the Clearwater tragedy as a case study for developing new blast safety protocols that account for geological complexity and communication system redundancy. The deaths of Chun, Rodriguez, Thompson, Mitchell, Santos, and Brooks become the foundation for training programs that teach miners about the importance of comprehensive safety planning. Their sacrifice leads to safety improvements that protect future generations of quarry workers. Industry associations develop new best practices for quarry operations that go far beyond minimum regulatory requirements, incorporating lessons learned from the detailed investigation of the 6 fatalities. These voluntary standards become widely adopted throughout the limestone quarrying industry, reflecting recognition that existing safety practices were inadequate to protect worker lives. The industry's response demonstrates how tragedy can drive positive change. Memorial services for the 6 victims draw hundreds of community members who recognize their contributions to the local economy and their roles as family men and community leaders. The men are remembered not only as quarry workers who died in an industrial accident, but as individuals whose lives had meaning beyond their tragic deaths. Their families receive ongoing support from community organizations and fellow quarry workers. A permanent memorial erected at the Clearwater Quarry site honors the 6 men who lost their lives and serves as a daily reminder of the importance of safety in quarry operations. The memorial includes their names, photographs, and a commitment to maintaining the highest safety standards to prevent future tragedies. Current workers pause at the memorial each day to remember their fallen colleagues and renew their commitment to safe work practices. The Clearwater Limestone Quarry resumes operations 6 months after the tragedy, implementing comprehensive safety improvements that include state-of-the-art communication systems, enhanced geological surveys, and expanded safety zones that account for worst-case blast scenarios. The quarry becomes a showcase for advanced safety practices that other operations study and adopt. Production continues, but with a fundamental commitment to preventing future deaths. Training programs developed in response to the 6 deaths become mandatory for all quarry workers in Idaho and are adopted by mining operations throughout the region. These programs emphasize the human cost of safety failures and the importance of following procedures that protect lives rather than simply meeting production targets. The victims' stories become central to safety education that saves other lives. The families of Chun, Rodriguez, Thompson, Mitchell, Santos, and Brooks establish scholarship funds that enable young people from their communities to pursue education in mining engineering and safety management. These scholarships ensure that the men's legacy includes positive contributions to future mining safety through education and professional development. Their deaths become the foundation for training the next generation of safety-conscious mining professionals. The tragedy at Clearwater demonstrates how quickly routine industrial operations can become fatal when safety systems fail simultaneously. The deaths of 6 experienced quarry workers reveal that expertise and caution alone are insufficient protection against systemic failures that create deadly conditions. Their sacrifice teaches the mining industry that safety requires redundant systems, comprehensive planning, and constant vigilance to protect human life. The investigation's findings emphasize that preventing future deaths requires more than meeting minimum safety standards. It demands a culture of safety that prioritizes human life over production efficiency. The 6 men who died at Clearwater become symbols of the need for continuous improvement in safety practices and the recognition that every worker has the right to return home safely each day. Their legacy lives on in the enhanced safety procedures that protect their colleagues. These weren't just statistics in a mining accident report. They were fathers, husbands, community leaders, and skilled professionals whose lives ended tragically because safety systems failed when they were needed most. Robert Chen's daughters lost their father and baseball coach. James Mitchell's ranch stands as a memorial to dreams that ended too soon. David Rodriguez's expertise in explosives couldn't save him when the blast exceeded all calculations. Frank Thompson's mechanical skills couldn't repair the communication failure that contributed to his death. Michael Santos's promotion to drilling rig operator became his final job assignment. William Brooks's recent marriage ended in widowhood after just months of happiness. Their deaths remind us that behind every industrial accident are real people whose lives matter beyond their roles as workers. If this story about preventable tragedy and lost lives gave you insight into why safety matters, leave your like and share with others who appreciate learning from fatal accidents so others might live.